Welcome all, it's time for the Show with No Name 2.0 on Vaughan Radio, where we've been for the last, almost 11 years now. So guys, it's become a tradition every morning at 10:30 on Vaughan Radio and now on Vaughan's Instagram as well. It's Grupo_Vaughan. I know many people are joining us right now. Hello, Joe, Ara, TG Almagro, Domene, and Joan, wow, so many people, Shaila joining us already. If you guys aren't joining us or haven't joined us yet, make sure you guys who are listening right now on the podcast or on Vaughan Radio, make sure you know that you can watch this program and you can participate live. You can participate live on Vaughan's Instagram. It's Grupo_Vaughan, Grupo_Vaughan. And while you're at it, ya que estás, apúntate esa. While you're at it, well, follow me too. It's Alberto_Vaughan. And this way you'll be learning English all over the place. Now, if you can't watch the show live or you can't listen to the show live, no problem. Just go over to, just Google Show with No Name, iVox or iTunes, and you'll be able to catch the show whenever you want. And if you want to watch it, well, that's on Instagram TV. All that stuff is following Grupo Vaughan on Instagram. And as I always tell you, it's worth it, vale la pena, it's worth it to follow them not just on Instagram, but on YouTube and on Facebook because, well, there's different content spread out on the different social media platforms. All right, so make sure you're following, subscribing, liking, and this way you guys are constantly getting English content. In fact, let's start with a little pop quiz again. Yesterday, I started the class with a pop quiz. And, well, this is going to be a quiz. I think I'm going to do this from now on, in fact. I'm going to make a jingle and everything. Pop quiz jingle. I just wrote a note to myself. I tell you to write things down, but I always do as well. So, there are benefits, there are advantages to following me on social media because I think from now on, I'm going to test you guys and see if you make these common mistakes or if you got the vocabulary like yesterday. I can't remember what it was yesterday. Well, either way, let's look at today. Yesterday's lesson is been and done. I hope you got it. But, well, guys, here it is. So I want you to translate this sentence for me, okay? ¿Te importaría abrir la ventana? So in Spanish, it's a very polite way, right? Porque no decimos, abre la ventana. Hombre, if you're speaking to your best friend, maybe. But if you're asking someone, ¿te importaría? It's a very polite, cortés, a very polite way to ask for something. So, ¿te importaría? Now, if you follow me on social media, I posted this morning in my stories. I posted it on Twitter and on Facebook. So you had 3 different chances to get this lesson. Okay, let's see if you guys got it. Claudia, right there, front row center. You guys say a pie del cañón. Front row center es como estoy en el centro y en primera fila. Listo, ¿no? Lista para la clase. So Claudia says, would you mind opening the window? Excellent job. Javi, you're missing the window part. Te faltaba una palabra, tío. DL Mateo says wool, o mejor wood, ¿no? Con la D, muy importante. So would you mind opening the window? There's JM Hermosilla, perfect. Chris Valrol, you nailed it. Would you mind opening the window? Would you mind opening the window? Okay, well, and Javi gives us another. Would you mind if I open the window? But if you're asking someone else to do it, then that structure doesn't work there, right? So would you mind smoking outside? See, that's when we say, would you mind? So be careful with this one. The mistake, and I get it. The mistake is many people say, would you mind to open the window? So I want you guys to write that down. Apunta eso. Would you mind to open? Porque está mal. Write it down, though. I want you to see it. I want you to visualize it. It's so important in the learning process. And I want you to cross it out because we don't use this structure with the infinitive. We use it with ing, okay, with the gerund. So would you mind opening the window? Put a couple examples wrong and then under it put it correctly. So would you mind to smoke outside? No. Would you mind smoking outside? ¿Te importaría fumar fuera? It's a weird one. And I think what happens correct me if I'm wrong here, is you guys mix it up with would you like to. Now that's a different structure, similar but different. So, would you like to open the window is te gustaría. Esa sí que usa infinitivo. Would you like to go for dinner? Would you like to learn English? That's infinitive, right? Yes, I'd like to. But would you mind? Te importaría, no te gustaría. Ah, different verb. Be careful. Common mistake. So if you guys follow me, I posted that this morning. When you get a little mistake like that, especially if I tell you or one of your other teachers tells you it's a common mistake, work on it. Trabájalo un poco. Take it and say, well, would you mind? And just use different verbs. Would you mind eating outside? Would you mind taking the bus? Would you mind lending me €5? Would you mind? Until it just kind of sounds right to you. And that's a lot of you, when I ask you about something in Spanish, you're like, that one sounds right. You don't know why, but it just sounds right. And that's the goal. That's what we're looking for in English. We're looking that you get to the point where you're like, algo me falla ahí. That's good. That's like a native level, excuse me. Claudia says, I learned it this morning while having a coffee. Look at that. So she was having coffee, perking up, right? Getting excited about the day and learning or reviewing something in English. Claudia, awesome way to start your day, I've got to say. Vaughan says, important differences. Thank you so much. Well, Vaughan, listen, if there's one thing I can offer you, I offer my energy and, right, that kind of stuff, but it's my experience. I have given thousands of hours of class. I have done thousands of hours of radio. I have heard every single mistake out there. And, well, I just want to help you guys so maybe we can avoid making some of those mistakes, right? I can kind of lead the way and say, oh, careful over there. That's a little bit slippery. Ahí es un poco resbaladizo, But you have to trust me, of course. And, well, I know you guys trust me. If you don't trust me, why would you listen to my radio show or watch me if you didn't trust me? But I have had students, in a very funny way, because something sounded weird to them. They said, Alberto, are you sure? I'm like, I'm dead sure. But I guess to them, like with the would you mind thing, they're like, no, it's con two. I'm like, oh, no, it's not. No, never been with two. Not even in some parts of the world. It's just never with two, right? So, my amigos, I'm just trying to, warn you. I like to, put these little signs up. Estas señales que dicen, uy, careful, tread carefully. To tread is pisar. Another way to say step is to tread. T-R-E-A-D. So tread carefully with these common mistakes. So what's the lesson here? Well, would you mind is used with the gerund. And the second lesson is, if you're following me on social media, then you're going to do okay on these pop quizzes that I'm going to start doing every day. It's just a way to practice some kind of structure or something. So now's the time to follow Alberto_Alonso on Instagram. If you're not following my colleagues too, follow them. Not all of them are on Instagram. Some are on Twitter. But either way, the shows that right now you've got fresh content every day. You've got Fitz, and he's on at 6 p.m. So if you want to Google No Excuses podcast, if you can't listen at 6 p.m. And then you've got Richard Vaughan live every morning. Now, if you can't tune in the morning, again, you've got podcasts, and you can listen whenever you want. So just with those three shows, you have 6 hours of English, 6 hours of English class. And I hope entertainment too. It's not just 6 hours of English class, but 6 hours listening to English, being exposed to English, and, well, learning some tricks and things as well, as we just looked at, right? So 6 hours of English. You got Richard Vaughan, a half an hour every morning, 7:30 to 8 on Channel 2, La Dos. And, guys, no excuses, como se llama el programa de Fitz. You have no excuses. Make this the summer. I say this every summer, but maybe in hopes that if I say it loud enough and if I say it enough times, somebody's going to listen to me. And make this the summer where you take your English to the next level and you have fun doing it. Because if you're not having fun doing it, siempre lo digo esto, it's very succinct, but if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong, right? Because you can find, sometimes it's harder to find a fun element, ese elemento de diversión, pero aprendizaje, learning. Don't you remember when you were a kid? Everything was like a wonder. Wow. That's what I want. I want to go back there. I want to be, surprised by everything and learn new things every day, like when we were kids, right? Maybe that's our secret, our fountain of youth, nuestra fuente de la juventud. Hey, I'll take anything I can get. All right, well, guys, we've got so much to do on today's show, so thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to have you all here, but right now we have to do a little something because we're still on the ground. Estamos en tierra, and it's cool, but I want to take our English to other places, to other worlds. That's right, folks, it's time for liftoff, so buckle up. Ponte el cinturón. Here we go.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughan Radio. It's the show with no name. Vaughan Radio. It's the show. Let's go.
All right, my amigos, we have officially lifted off. You feel that? Ooh, there's less gravity up here. Menos gravedad. There's less gravity up here. All right, well, guys, great to have you all here. As I said, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to challenge you. Voy a retaros. I'm going to challenge you, and most of all, we're going to have some fun. As Diel Mateos, as Debbie just said, she says, we're going to have a ball. Que es muy nativo, Debbie. You sound like a native speaker. We're going to have a ball, and we're going to learn English. And with that attitude, how are you not going to do it? Great job, Debbie. Morlafo says, oh my God, this jingle is music to my ears. Well, you know who made that jingle? Juanjo. My friend Juanjo made that jingle. In fact, all the different jingles on this show, las ráfagas, as you say in Spanish, these are all people who have come through the show, people that I've worked with. So there's a little piece of everybody that I've worked with in this show. You can hear people who worked at Vaughan 10 years ago. You can hear them in the jingle. So I like to believe that people who were part of the show with no name in any way left their little footprint, su huella, here in the show. And as you know, in a lot of the jingles, you'll hear Claire, someone I love very much. She lives in Berlin and she used to work with Vaughan. Alvaro, you've got DJ Spanglish, Martin, I worked with for many years. So these Nacho, obviously, Nacho's been with me since day one. So the reason this show sounds cool or you guys like the jingles is because of all the amazing people who have come through this show and into my life, not just into my show, and put their little love into it, right? Su amor, that's what it is. You know, that scream in Name That Lyric. Wow! That's my friend Alvaro. Now, you want to know something about that scream? That's the same scream he let out, que soltó, when I told him, Alvaro, Diana and I are going to get married and we want you to do the ceremony. And he was like, wow! I'm like, but don't do any Name That Lyric stuff, you know? I don't want any show with no name jingles. And in the end, they played one, I believe. That's right. I got to get a hold of that. We got to talk to Nacho. I'm sure he knows where that is. They put together like a sound bite, the technicians and my friends, obviously. So very, very cool. I like to believe that everybody, left a little piece of them. Maybe they're living, Alvaro is in Singapore, Claire is in Berlin, Martin is traveling around the world. Well, not currently, but, working sound on movies. So it really is awesome. I've got to tell you something, Debbie. She says, we want a playlist of the jingles on the show with no name. There is one. If you guys can find it, take a look. I don't know if you guys have SoundCloud, si no me equivoco. If I'm not mistaken, it's SoundCloud. And look for DJ Spanglish, okay? Because he created a lot of those jingles. And the other ones, I'm sure we can upload them somewhere. So if you guys want these jingles, I know people who have gotten the jingles off the radio and then, edited them and then used them as their ringtone. So that's that's totally awesome that you guys would love to have a piece of, because as I said, the show with no name is a piece of me, a piece of all my friends. And well, it's great that you guys like a little piece of that in your world. It's a mind-blowing thing when you think about it. All right, so guys, I'll tell you what. We've got a lot to do. We've got an action-packed, interactive show today, and I'm excited about it. So I think we've got our first stop on our intergalactic journey. We're going to stop at a little planet we call Say What?
Say what?
That's right, my amigos. It's the Say What soundbite, only on the show with no name. Now, this is where I test your listening. I see how good you are at catching different accents, different speech patterns, different cadences and rhythms. So this exercise is a lot of different things. It's about listening. It's about making observations. It's about writing down what you hear, taking dictation. So remember, use this exercise to the fullest. And also I want, as I said, I want you to be little detectives, PIs, private investigators, como se dice también. There was a popular show called Magnum PI, private investigator. And so I want you guys to give me some clues. What do you get from it? What's going on? What accent is it? Etc., etc. Okay, so that said, guys, you're going to hear it 4 times, right? Once in each part of the show. This is the first listen of today's Say What soundbite. So grab your Vaughan pen, if you have one, and your notebook. You'd better have one, más te vale. You'd better, right? Cuidado con esta. Porque americanos decimos you better. Técnicamente es you'd better, que viene de you had better, que yo nunca he oído a nadie decirlo entero. Es en esa estructura, al menos. Right? So, the real thing, the long one, is you had better listen to me. Pero cuando estás enfadado, no estás, tú contraes. You're like, you better listen to me. You better. So, again, you do what you want there. I say you better. Porque yo no digo la D de you'd better. No me sale. But technically, it's you'd better, okay? So you guys had better have your notebooks because it's time for the first listen of today's Say What soundbite. Here we go.
It's crazy, man. I was working at this job, busted my butt for about a year and a half. They didn't give me a raise. So my old lady, she leaves me because she says I'm a bum because I quit. Then after I get this job working at the university, strictly for the experience.
All right, there we go, my amigos. There we go. All right, so, wait, is that the right one here? Wait a second. Guys, I think I just gave you the wrong one. Wait. Okay, all right, guess what? Don't forget that. Erase that, okay, guys? I just screwed up, okay? La cagué. I just screwed up. And that's not the one I had to give you guys. So, erase that. Borra eso. Okay? Erase it. Okay? I'm going to give you the real one now. Vamos a ver donde lo tengo. Okay, hold on. Let me just... I made a little technical mistake there. Sorry, guys. It's hard, too, because, I'm doing the show, but then at the technical part, too. Like, normally I have a technician, but thanks to coronavirus, I don't. So now I'm my own technician. But hey, I'm not complaining either. I've learned to do a lot of different things with audio, and well, it's been an interesting experience, but sometimes there are some glitches, problemillas, right? Glitches. All right, but nothing that we can't fix. See? We just rewind and we go back and we do it all over again. Okay, so here we go. This is the real Say What soundbite. Okay, guys? So let me make sure I have my volume up. Ready? Here we go.
I tell you how it came to me, if it interests you. I was ill, and they had to make some sort of operation. It's operation.
Yes?
Yes. And I got in my arm
An injection.
an injection. And it had never happened before. And
All right, there we go, folks. That's the real one. The first one, I was just making sure you were paying attention. So, all right, guys. So, what do you think? What do you think over there? Anybody recognize the voice, the accent? Anybody know what's happening? Is it a movie? Is it an interview? Are people fighting? Is it an argument? Is it a love scene? What is going on? Break it down. Desglósamelo. Break it down. Anna Zing. Me encanta tu nombre, by the way, Anna Zing. And she says, it's an interview. I agree. I second the motion. Anna Zing. Claudia says, I would say he's not a native English speaker. Okay, that sounds about right, Claudia. Now just be careful. English with a capital letter, con mayúscula, right? So, English, nosotros siempre, nacionalidades, idiomas, with a capital letter, okay? Days of the week, days of the month, the months as well, because I know in Spanish they are not capitalized, so... J.M. Hermosilla says, he sounds like an Italian person. Muy bien, con mayúscula ahí. Dubitativo sí que es. I don't know what that is. That is my Spanish over there, so. Estoy limitado. Me lo tienes que decir en inglés, right? Chris says, Italian accent. Okay, that's good, pero preferiría, we'd prefer, nunca me sale esto en español. We would prefer full sentences, guys, okay? Remember, this is English class, okay? Leonardo says, does he had an operation? Okay, so did he have, right? Does he had is not a correct question. So does he have is tiene, which doesn't make sense. So did he have an operation would be your question, I think. La Churri says, is it a man with a doctor? Could be. Could be La Churri. I can see that. Jefferson says, it's Italian. It or he's Italian. Because it es una cosa, right? It is a thing. So, Debbie says, it seems like an Italian accent. Anik says, it sounds like an interview. He isn't a native English speaker. Okay, so a few people said that already. Good observations. Especially if you agree, that means that maybe there's some truth to it, right? Born to Iron Man says, he's not a native English speaker and he got some of it down. Okay, well guys, we'll take a look at it. Susanna says it's two guys talking about health treatment. Okay. Debbie says he talks about a health problem. Mejor en presente continuo, Debbie. He's talking about a health problem, right? Porque en esto está pasando, okay? Wendy says, sound me like an Indian person. Wendy, esa frase suena indio un poco. Un poco bastante, hablando de... Vamos a corregir esta frase porque está mal, ¿ok? Pero bien, así aprendemos. This is how we learn. Por eso quiero que escribas frases completas. That's why I want you to write complete sentences. Then I can help you. If not, if you just say blue, I'm like, bueno, ahí estamos, muy bien. Sabe decir azul. Good job. Level 1, you know? So, good. Wendy, at least you tried. Has intentado. So it sounds like an Indian person to me. Sería la estructura, okay? It sounds like, or he sounds like an Indian person to me. Lupe says, it seems like an interview. He isn't a native speaker and he had to take over some operation, something about ignition, okay? Chris Balrol says it's an interview. He says something about an arm injection. It's part of a movie, says Rosani. The Mafia movie. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, guys, we got some interesting observations here, I can see. But you know what? I'm checking out the time here, and we have to go to our first commercial break. Yeah, I can't believe it myself. The first part of the show just flew by. But don't worry. We still have 3/4 left. 3/4. Yeah, that's great. That's a lot of show left to have a lot of fun and learn tons of English. So guys, if I were you, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around.